Well, good morning, yoginis and yogis. For those of you that are just coming in and preparing to sign in to the class, just make yourself comfortable for a few moments. Find a nice, comfortable seated position, perhaps. And we're just going to take a few moments to breathe. The mantra for our practice this morning of Yin Yoga is relax. So let us endeavor to try to get into that mode to begin with before we even start our practice. So just relax. And let's start to breathe, taking anything short and shallow. Let's make it long, deep, and complete. We'll just take a moment or two, allowing those who wish to tune in to come into that nice quiet space. This morning is the practice of Yin Yoga. And on behalf of myself, Aradhana, and the Anahata Yoga community, I welcome each and every one of you. Yin Yoga is considered to be the quiet practice. It is a practice of surrender. During the course of our practice this morning, we'll be engaging in long, what I consider to be traction stretching, where we're going to hold postures and poses in a very relaxed manner for 3 to 5 minutes, allowing the muscles of the body to take an hour and 15 minutes off. Resting those large muscle groups and allowing that tough connective tissue, that tissue that is responsible for the integrity of the joints, to stretch. When we stretch that fascia, that connective tissue, it enhances the joint's range of motion, degree of flexibility, and the level of circulation passing through the joint. So oftentimes, Yin Yoga is considered to be a practice that redefines the aging process, preventing joints, especially those that are targeted, from a condition called fixation of the joint, where the joint becomes so tightly encased that we actually lose movement of the joint altogether. And I always suggest to my students that during the course of the practice, take 1 or 2 of the stretches that you really like, and perhaps one that you find very challenging, and begin to incorporate them on a regular basis into your own personal practice. This is a supplemental practice that helps enhance your more strenuous yang-type practices. So let's just come into that state of relaxation, breathing long, deep, and complete. This is a cool, quiet practice. But when we breathe, let us fill the lungs completely, please, all the way down to the lowest lobes, keeping our lungs nice and dry. And when we release the breath, let's exhale completely, emptying the lungs before we take another breath. And withdraw now your attention from external things. Take this time to focus behind the eyebrows. Equalize your in-breath and your out-breath so as to control the mind, the senses, and the discerning intellect. Aim then for nothing less than absolute and unconditional freedom. This is the practice of Yin Yoga, the quiet practice. All are welcome who come upon their mats to honor their practice of yoga. If the eyes are closed, gently open the eyes and lift the gaze. Yin Yoga has its origins in the Taoist philosophy. So we'll begin our practice then by honoring that philosophy and gathering the qi. You can remain seated if you wish, or make your way into rock pose. Sitting back down on the heels, if you're in rock pose, feel free to roll a blanket or towel underneath the ankles to help support. And we'll bring the palms of the hands, whether you're seated or in rock pose, let them rest in the lap, the right hand on top of the left with the palms facing up. The navel point in the Taoist philosophy is considered to be the Dan Tian. It is a distribution point for all energy in the body. And so we will begin gathering the qi from the Dan Tian, and we will draw that qi back into the Dan Tian, cycling through 3 times. So let's take a nice big inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, release the arms now into the side plane with the palms facing up. Continue the inhale, drawing the arms into the overhead plane as you gather the qi. With the arms all the way up and overhead, turn the palms towards the earth. Now use the exhale to draw that qi all the way into the body, all the way down, back to the dantian, then reverse the palms once again, and inhale, filling the lungs completely. Exhale with a sigh. Inhale, arms out, palms up, gather the qi. Draw the arms all the way out and up. Bringing the arms into the overhead plane, the palms turn towards the earth. Now exhale and draw the qi into the body. All the way down to the dantian. Reverse the palms. Inhale. And exhale with a sigh. One more time now. Arms out, palms up. Gather the qi. Use the inhale. Let the fingertips trace the aura. With the arms overhead, turn the palms towards the earth. Exhale. Draw the qi into the body. All the way down to that dantian, where we reverse the palms again. Inhale deeply. Exhale with a sigh. And sit for a moment in this vibration. When we open the body, we open the mind. When we open the mind, we open the heart. When we open the heart, the journey becomes easier. Opening the eyes then and lifting the gaze. Warming up the spine then, we're going to be focusing today on the lumbar spine, that lower area of the spine just above the coccyx. So let's come in onto the hands and knees in a tabletop position. We'll do some nice gentle cow and cat spinal flexion. With the inhale, let the belly just surrender towards the earth. Let the chin release from the chest. The crown of the head migrates towards the ceiling. That's the cow. Now on the exhale, draw the navel point into the spine. Let the chin return once again to the chest. With the crown of the head migrating towards the floor. That's the cat. Inhaling to cow. Engages and relaxes the erector spinae muscles in the spine. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Feel the fullness of the breath on every inhale and exhale, please. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. One more time then. Let's inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Find a neutral spine. Excellent. We'll return to seated posture, please. The mantra for the practice of yin yoga is relax. So before we get into our first stretches of the day, we're going to give ourselves the opportunity to facilitate that level of relaxation. And we're going to use these marvelous messengers in the tips of the fingers in order to ensure that we can be as relaxed as possible. And all we're going to do is take the hands, the fingertips, and find the feet. So we extend those legs very softly out in front with the knees nice and soft, and just to the point where you can reach the feet. And then saying to yourself silently, relax, 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 or because we are in cyber world here, you can say it out loud if you wish. We're just going to say relax, relax, and just sweep the feet. Let the fingertips just sweep the feet. We're not really applying any pressure. Just let those feet relax. They are the great servants of the body. They work so hard for us. Relaxing the feet, let's relax the ankles, and we say to ourselves, relax, relax, relax. Perhaps saying it 108 times as we go through this relaxation routine. Let the fingertips then find the calf muscles of the legs, saying to ourselves, relax, relax. We're just sweeping, we're not massaging, we're not applying any pressure. We're just relaxing the large muscle groups in the body. Let's relax the knees now. Ever so gently, and we say repeatedly, relax, 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 relax. Let's relax the big muscles in the upper legs, the quadriceps, just a nice gentle sweep. Relax the hamstrings. The eyes can be closed, the breath is even. Inhale and exhale as we go through our relaxing process. Let the fingertips then find the hips, and let's just relax those hips, a quiet, quick sweep. And then to the lower back, our area that we are going to be targeting today, that lumbar spine. Take just a moment here. Let those fingertips deliver the message. Relax, relax, relax. Excellent. And then we'll release the hands with the fingertips on the back of the head below the crown. And just relax all the way down the back of the head, all the way to the neck. And then relax, relax, relax. Follow the jawline. Relaxing that jaw all the way out to the chin. Release the hands onto the knees or onto the legs. And then we'll take the fingertips of the right hand onto the left shoulder. And let's just relax all the way down. Just sweeping, walking, relaxing. Relax, 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 all the way out through the fingertips. And then we'll take the left hand, do the same thing with the right arm. From the shoulder all the way down. Relax, 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 relax. And sweep it all the way out. Then just sit for a moment in this gentle vibration, continuing that mantra of relaxation before we prepare for our first yin stretch of the practice. Our yin stretches we hold for 3 minutes to 5 minutes. It takes that tough tissue, that fascia, at least 3 minutes to get a good stretch. And if we stretch for 5 minutes, we're ensuring ourselves we're going to get maximum benefit of the stretch. There's not a lot of point in going longer than 5 minutes, although you can. That tissue is only going to possibly stretch so far. So let's leave the legs right where they are, nice and gentle, extended out in front. Remember, when we do our yin stretches, we want the major muscle groups in the body relaxed as much as possible. As we do any forward fold, the hamstrings are going to engage. That happens naturally. We're just going to let that manifest. We're going to have it happen naturally. We're not going to resist it. And at the same time, we're not going to encourage it. And the first stretch we'll do today is a very, very beautiful and simple stretch called the caterpillar. So we begin in this seated posture with everything as relaxed as we possibly can get it. And one of the keys here, in order to fold forward and get the full benefit of targeting that lumbar spine, we want that belly soft. This is not a goal-oriented practice. So we don't concern ourselves with how far we go into the pose. We concern ourselves with our ability to surrender to the natural forces. So we want that belly soft. We're not going to engage the core. It does not have to assist us in the stretch. The second thing we're going to do, once the belly is nice and soft, is relax those shoulders. And even if you have to allow those shoulders to migrate just a little bit in towards the midline, we want the shoulders as relaxed as we can possibly get them. And when you're ready to initiate the stretch itself, with everything as soft and relaxed as you can get it, we're going to let the chin migrate to the chest. And this will begin a rounding of the spine, which is going to draw energetically on that connective tissue in that lower spine, allowing that connective tissue to begin to stretch. From here, with space between the teeth, the eyes are closed, the breath is even and measured. We're just going to let the torso float, surrendering to the natural force of gravity. It does not matter how far down we go. When you feel the first layer of resistance, just hover. As you hold this stretch, gravity will take you deeper. You do not have to do anything yourself. Just breathe. Let the breath be even, and inhale and exhale. The inhale will establish the form. The exhale will take you deeper into the experience. We hold this pose for 5 minutes. The mind is calm. The heart is quiet. This is the caterpillar. We are targeting the lumbar spine, those vertebrae just above the coccyx, creating increased flexibility and range of motion simply through surrender. If you feel yourself trying to force, let us remember that force is nothing more than energy dissipated without benefit. If you feel compelled to come out of the stretch, please don't hesitate. Come out of the stretch. Reestablish the mantra of relax and go back into the stretch again. This is the caterpillar. Let gravity do the work. Just fold forward nice and softly. It is that surrender that creates and achieves the optimum benefit of the posture. In our yang practice, we so often feel that we are establishing or building the bigger, better battery. Our yin practice allows that battery to last longer. Even breath, please, space between the teeth. Let the vibration of the gong enhance the experience as you just gently surrender to Mother Earth. the stretch, don't hesitate. Feel free to do so. Otherwise, just quietly surrender. You become like a reed growing along the bank of a beautiful stream. In the morning, a breeze makes its way. Feel the breeze, beginning at the sacrum and just making its way all the way up the back body, allowing the body to fold gently forward over the stream. This is the caterpillar. And as we approach our last minute in this stretch, become your own pilgrim. Take that inner journey. Allow yourself and invite yourself to be fascinated by this vehicle of perfection we call the human body. We are mindful to come out of our yin stretches every bit as cautiously and carefully as we went in. Let the palms of the hands find the earth. When you're ready, engage the core now gently. Let the core lift the torso. Walking the hands beside the hips. We're going to do a counter. All our poses should have counter poses. So we'll begin to walk the hands behind the hips, coming into a hammock, and lifting the heart, letting the gaze drift up and towards the sky. This is our counter. Here, we take note of sensations in the lower back. You may feel vulnerable. You may feel fragile after the initiation of a yin stretch. Should you have those feelings, please do not let it alarm you. These sensations are symptomatic and are normal as the result of the yin practice. Excellent. Now let's inhale deeply. And with an exhale, we'll release all the way down onto the back body. When you find yourself on the back body, all we're going to do is fold the right knee up towards the chest, extend the right leg overhead, reach around and capture the hamstring. Kicking the right heel up gently towards the sky, we'll just give a little bit of a warm-up to the joints in the knee, the hip, and the ankle. So with an exhale, let's just fold that right leg to 90 degrees. And inhale, we'll extend it. Exhale and fold. Inhale, extend. Exhale and fold. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold and hold. Now we'll warm up just a little bit that right hip. With an inhale, influence right knee towards right shoulder. Don't force, please, just influence. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, right knee towards right shoulder. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, right knee towards right shoulder. Exhale, bring it back, and we'll hold right here. Now let's warm up that joint in the right ankle, please. Those joints in the right ankle. We'll just circle that foot, that right foot. Just make circles with the right foot. 3 or 4 circles one way, and then reverse. Make 3 or 4 circles the other way. Now we'll release that leg. Please bring both legs straight out in front. Let's take a nice deep breath. inhaling and exhaling. With your next inhale, let's draw the left knee now up to the chest. Extend the left leg up and overhead, capture the hamstring. You can kick that left heel a little bit up towards the ceiling. And we'll warm up gently that joint in the left knee now. So with an exhale, let's fold to 90 degrees. Inhale, extend. Exhale and fold. Inhale, extend. Exhale and fold. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold and hold. Now we'll warm up that left hip just a little bit. Let's inhale and influence that left knee back towards the left shoulder. Just a little bit. No need to overextend. Respect and honor your edge, of course. Exhale, bring that knee back. Inhale, influence left knee to left shoulder. Exhale and bring it back. Inhale, left knee, left shoulder. Exhale, bring it back and hold. Now we'll just make circles with that left foot a little bit. 2 or 3 circles in one direction, then 2 or 3 circles in the other. We'll just keep those joints a little bit warm during the course of our practice. And then release that leg, extend both legs straight out in front. Take a nice deep breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. With your next inhale, draw the knees to the chest. Cross the ankles. Grab the big toes. Rock yourself back up to seated posture, please. Just take a nice deep breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's straighten through the spine just a little bit with the shoulders relaxed. Just breathe. Excellent. With the hands alongside the hips, then we're going to release the legs straight out in front once again. If you feel the need, go ahead and shake out those legs. Make windshield wipers with the feet. You can shake out the arms all the way down to the fingertips. The mantra is still relaxed, but occasionally we want to make sure that the chi, the lymphatic fluid, the blood is moving freely through these extremities. We're holding these stretches for long durations. So we want to make sure everything, all those liquid-rich systems in the body, all those energy systems in the body are moving freely without obstruction. Excellent. For our second yin stretch then of the practice, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. And we're going to do the butterfly, but it's a yin butterfly. So we don't need the heels right up real close to the sit bones. We can actually let those feet glide out away from the torso a little bit, making kind of a diamond configuration with the legs. Remember, what we're focusing on is the lumbar spine. We're not really going to focus on the muscles in the inner upper leg that much. And we don't really concern ourselves with the knees. We're just going to let them kind of float or linger. As we prepare then for our butterfly, the soles of the feet are just gently connected. We're not going to let the hands or arms play any particular role here. So they're just going to rest wherever it feels comfortable for you. And we want the belly to soften. The 3 levels of engaging the yin forward fold is A, the belly is soft. B, the shoulders are relaxed. And when we are ready to initiate the stretch, we release the chin to the chest. From here then, we surrender to gravity. Just drifting, surrendering the torso within the natural forces of Mother Earth. And we're going to make sure that the muscles of the face are relaxed. We're going to ensure that the breath is an even inhale and exhale. The eyes are closed. The mind is quiet and calm. This is the butterfly. We hold this stretch for 5 minutes. If you feel compelled to come out of the stretch at any time, do not hesitate. Avail yourself of that opportunity. Come out of the stretch. The modification for a yin stretch is merely to come out of the stretch, reestablish a level of comfort, and go back into the stretch once again. There are very few absolutes in yin yoga. Breathe now quietly. The butterfly prepares for flight, opening its wings in acceptance of the earth, of the air, of the light. Opening, ever opening. Space between the teeth. The in-breath establishes the form. The exhale takes you deeper into the experience, and let your yin practice be an experience, an inner journey. Visualize, if you will, the butterfly. How fragile in appearance, and yet how majestic. Wherein lies the power of the butterfly? Certainly not in sinew or muscle, not even in speed. The power of the butterfly lies in its ability to attract your focus and hold it with a sense of awe, in its beauty and in its grace. If you feel powerful in your pose, it is not an illusion. It is because you are. Breathe. Surrender to Mother Earth. Float within the posture, as the butterfly might float upon the currents of the air. Space between the teeth. Go ever deeper. Approaching the last minute. There's a sweet surrender here. Find that inner resolution. If you feel beautiful, it's not an illusion. It is because you are. The mind quiets. The heart is calm. This is the practice of yin yoga. Mindful that we come out of our yin stretches every bit as cautiously and comfortably as we go in. So let's bring the hands now outside and underneath the knees and just support the legs as we draw the knees gently up towards the midline. We can relax the legs then straight out in front. Releasing the hands then alongside the hips. We want to make sure we do our counter. We'll walk the hands behind the hips, lift the heart, let the gaze drift up towards the sky, and take a moment to note sensations in the lower back. Mindful that those feelings of being vulnerable or fragile are normal, so we need not let those feelings alarm us. Just breathe. Long, deep, and complete. And we'll continue then, walking the hands behind the hips, making our way once again onto the back body. And release the arms alongside the torso, palms up to receive. Take a nice deep breath here. Always give yourself a moment or two to feel your practice, whether it's a yin practice or a yang practice. It is far better to feel the practice than to think the practice. Excellent. We'll draw the soles of the feet now up and onto the mat, the heels towards the sit bones. We're going to let these quadriceps, these big muscles in the upper legs, become parallel like railroad tracks. Then rolling the shoulders under the back body, lift the hips and pelvis just nice and gently. Use the breath. Focus then on the top of the spine, and as you exhale, gently roll that spine down towards the earth, one vertebrae at a time, like a wave making its way towards the beach. When the sacrum finds the mat, it is as if that wave is broken gently along the shoreline. Empty the lungs completely. Then inhale, lifting the hips and pelvis again. Focus on the top of the spine. Exhale and roll it down. Nice massage for that spine. All the way down until the sacrum finds the mat. Then empty the lungs completely. Inhale and lift the hips and pelvis again. Exhale and roll it down. Now inhale, lift the hips and pelvis one more time. This is Dvipadipittam, nice massage for the lower back. Focus on the top of the spine. For the last time then, just gently roll it down. Excellent. We're going to remain on the back body for a moment. Make a gentle V with the legs. Walking the heels away from midline. And let's draw the arms gently up, all the way to the overhead plane. And we want a nice relaxed V with the arms overhead. So position those arms depending on your level of relaxation. You may want the arms a little bit out at a different angle. If you have room, this is called the pentacle. It is a beautiful posture within our yin practice that allows us to take a little bit of an inventory of what is going on in the body. So here I invite you to close the eyes, create space between the teeth, generate your sensation of focus, and begin to walk yourself from the toes all the way up through the crown of the head, all the way out the arms, through the fingertips, going deep into your practice to a place where no one goes but you. Seeking as you make this journey those places where you feel inflexible, perhaps committing to make these places flexible. Seeking out those places where you feel weak, you wish to strengthen. and perhaps committing to strengthen these places. And seek out those places within your life that you have become rigid and immovable. Commit then to soften. We hold the pentacle for 3 minutes. Ever so gently now, bring yourselves back. Let's release the arms into the frontal plane and just let them kind of float until they find their way alongside the torso. Walking the heels back into midline, drawing the knees to the chest, cross the ankles, grab the big toes, rock yourself back up to seated posture. Reestablish the posture and just breathe. If you feel free, if you wish to, if it's within the landscape of your practice, just bring the legs out in front and shake everything out. Make small windshield wipers with the feet. Shake out the arms all the way down to the fingertips. Excellent, beautiful yogis. Let's make sure everything is relaxed. Major muscle groups to just gently relax. That way we can stretch that connective tissue, especially in the lumbar spine. That's our focus for our practice today. Just take a breath or two here. And we'll walk the heels away from midline, making a nice gentle V. But it's a gentle V. The knees can be nice and soft and slightly folded. The feet can fall off to the outside, or if they're more comfortable, straight ahead. You can leave them straight ahead. As we prepare for the dragonfly, The first step, of course, once we've established the form, is to let the belly soften. With the belly softened, we make sure those shoulders are relaxed, knowing that the hands and arms really are not going to play much of a role here. We're just going to let them rest wherever it feels comfortable for them to do just that. With the belly soft and the shoulders relaxed, when we are ready to initiate our stretch into what's known as the dragonfly, we release the chin, we bring the chin to the chest, and this begins to create the rounding of the spine, which draws energetically on the lumbar spine, allowing that connective tissue to begin to stretch. With the chin on the chest then, in the dragonfly, we just float forward. You'll feel the hamstrings engage here just a little bit. Let that happen naturally. We don't force it, we don't resist it. We just understand that that's going to take place whenever we do a forward fold. The eyes are closed, the muscles of the face are nice and soft and relaxed. This is the dragonfly, and here again, we hold this posture for 5 minutes. The breath is even, there's space between the teeth. The most challenging aspect of holding a yin stretch for 3 to 5 minutes is holding a yin stretch for 3 to 5 minutes. Here we begin to allow ourselves the discipline of withdrawing from the senses rather than catering to them. Lose yourself then in the inner journey. The inhale will maintain your form. The exhale invites you always to go deeper into the experience. This is a relaxed, drifting serenity. A relaxed, drifting surrender. No goal to achieve. Just floating within your awareness. If you feel compelled to come out of the pose, please do not hesitate. Go ahead and come out. The modification is merely to come out, reestablish a level of comfort and relaxation, and go back in again. There was a traveler, a pilgrim, who had embarked on a journey of enlightenment. And this pilgrim, this traveler, had gone for many miles, seeking that which would bring himself to that state of enlightenment. But alas, our traveler came upon a river. The river was very wide, the water very deep, the current very swift. The traveler looked downstream, then looked upstream, saw no place to ford. Looking across the river, the traveler saw an Amaji, a woman of wisdom, seated in quiet meditation. The traveler called across the river to that Amaji "Excuse me," said the traveler. "I apologize for interfering with your quiet state, but I am on a journey of enlightenment. I have come across this river. The river is very wide, the water is deep, the current is swift. Can you tell me, please? I see no way to ford. How might I get to the far side of the river?" Nyamaji looked up. She met the eyes of the traveler. She then looked upstream. She looked downstream. Her gaze once again caught the gaze of the traveler, and she said, "My dear man, you are already on the far side of the river. So it is written. So it is." Coming out of our yin stretches, every bit as cautiously and comfortably as we go in, bringing the hands onto the earth, feel that connection, then gently engage the core. Let the core lift the torso back up to midline. We'll walk the hands to the outside of the hips, bring the heels back into midline. Get our counter, walking the hands behind the hips, lifting the heart. The gaze drifts towards the sky. Take note of sensations in the lower back. Make sure you're breathing. Space between the teeth, please. Continue then the hammock. We'll walk the body, walk ourselves onto the back body once again, allowing the arms to extend alongside the torso. With an inhale, we draw the knees to the chest. We're going to extend the legs gently. Then walk the heels away from midline, making a gentle V with the legs. Reach up with the hands. Capture the hamstrings. Influence the knees towards the shoulders gently. When it's available, reach up and capture whatever you feel you can capture for support. Perhaps the shins, the ankles, or you can find the feet, either on the pinky toe side or the big toe side. Doesn't really matter. And even though this is happy baby, we're really not going to move around. All we're going to do is let the weight of the hands influence the knees down towards the earth, trying to keep our shoulders gently pressed in to the mat. And just breathe. We are opening, we are ever opening. This is still yin. This is still an opening of the connective tissue. No goal orientation. We're not going to force those knees towards the earth, please. We're just going to gently influence. A body in motion tends to stay in motion. A body at rest tends to stay at rest. As you put your body into a gentle motion with your stretch, it will eventually go deeper into the experience. All you need to do is surrender. We're just going to hold this for 3 minutes. Feel the degree of expansion the gentle opening, the hips, the lower back, the inside upper part of the legs. Just find that quiet resolution. There's no need to move here. We want space between the teeth. The breath is even and measured. Practice your breath techniques. Make sure that when you breathe, you're filling the lungs completely. We want to fill always all the way into the lower lobes of the lungs, keeping those lower lobes dry. We don't want them to collect fluid, which tends to create an environment for the cultivation of respiratory illnesses. Let's keep those lungs nice and dry. Beautiful yogis, less than a minute. Stretching with that sense of surrender. Whatever muscles happen to be engaged naturally in the course of the movement or the creation of the form, we just let that happen naturally. We don't encourage it, we don't resist it. And again, we can always release, we can always come out of the pose and go back into it. Excellent. Now what we're going to do is relax, sure those shoulders are relaxed, draw the soles of the feet together as if we were going to do a supine butterfly. We can capture the toes, or if they are not available, just capture the ankles or the shins. We want to make sure the upper back, those shoulders, stay anchored gently into the earth, and we're just going to lower the heels, and at the same time, open the knees just a little bit away from each other. There is some yang involved in this. We're only going to hold here for a minute or so. Just feel the stretch. Breathe. Excellent. Release whatever it is you captured for support and bring the soles of the feet down and onto the mat. The arms extend alongside the torso, palms up, and let's just sweep those knees back and forth like giant windshield wipers. As yogis, we know the driving rainstorms of life so often obscure the windshield of our awareness. We use our yoga practice to keep that windshield clear so that we might see the path that lies ahead. Excellent. Let's bring those knees to stillness, neutral position. Draw the knees to the chest, cross the ankles, grab the big toes, rock yourselves all the way up, back into tabletop. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And as we did in the beginning, so we will do now at the end. Nice, gentle cow-cat spinal flexors. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. One more time. Let's inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Neutral spine. We're going to walk the knees back behind the hips, support the upper body with the palms of the hands, and lower the upper body all the way down onto the belly. Bringing the palms of the hands gently outside and a little bit in front of the shoulders, and walk the feet away from midline, making a V with the legs. We're going to keep the glutes now nice and soft. Our final counter of the practice for today is the seal. And this is very yang oriented. What we're going to do is inhale and begin to lift the torso, keeping the glutes nice and soft. The crown of the head migrates towards the sky. And just breathe into the experience. There's still space between the teeth. We're just going to hold here for a couple of minutes. The gaze can be at the earth. If you want a little bit of a bigger stretch, you can lift the gaze to look right at the horizon. If you feel you still don't have enough of a stretch, you can lift the gaze to look all the way up towards the sky. The key to the seal is that we want the glutes soft. If you're not sure whether your glutes are soft or not, then flex them intentionally and then release them. Gentle V, space between the teeth. We did a lot of forward folding, 15 minutes worth at least. Now we're going to take a couple of minutes and just make sure that we've restored that tissue. This is a beautiful counter. Let's hold it about 30 more seconds. And exhale, release down onto the belly, please. Ever so gently. Treat yourself well. We're going to walk the feet back into midline. When you're ready, drawing the palms of the hands underneath the shoulders, just draw the body back into child's pose. With the sit bones hovering near or resting upon the heels, when you engage in seal pose, the counter is always going to be child's pose. Sit and breathe. Forehead on block blanket or on the earth. The eyes are closed. Space between the teeth. Two pilgrims making their way home through the forest. Becomes very dark. They cannot see the path that lies ahead. The two pilgrims begin to become fearful that they have lost their way. And they will not be able to find the path in the darkness. And as they probe between the trees, a bolt of lightning flashes across the sky. One of the pilgrims looks up, curious as to the source of this great light. The other pilgrim looks down, knowing that this light will illuminate the forest so that they might see the path that lies ahead. sometimes in life, we must ask ourselves, are we the pilgrim that looks up, trying to find the source of the light? Or are we that pilgrim that realizes that the light will illuminate the earth? Beautiful yogis. Let's walk the hands back towards the knees, please. Let the core lift the torso, bringing the knees together into rock pose once again, but we're not going to be here long. Once you've established your rock pose, surrender a hip, it doesn't matter which one, come lying on your backs. Let's get a little relaxation in before we end our practice for today. Find your corpse pose, arms extend alongside the torso, palms up to receive. The legs extend straight out in front, feet fall off to the right and the left. With the eyes closed, let us be mindful now of the words of Buddha. We suffer because we cling. When we no longer cling, said Buddha, we no longer suffer. Whatever you're holding on to in this moment, let it go now, for it serves you no purpose. The voice cried out in the darkness, "What is that song you sing?" And the answer came forth, "It is the song of life." The voice cried out in the darkness, "What is that poem you recite?" And the answer came forth, "It is the poem of life." And the voice cried out in the darkness, "Who are you?" And the answer came forth, "I am the yogi." And now, with the innocence of a child, bring yourselves back, please, ever so gently. Let us come back into this moment, this place we call the present. And as we return, take note of the temperature and the texture of the air. As it enters through the nostrils, dances against the back of the throat, and fills deep within the body. Come back now. Come back to this place of grounding, here where the physical self is totally immersed within the spiritual consciousness. And having found your ground, reawaken the body with gentle movement. Move fingers, move toes. Make small circles with wrists and ankles. Be fascinated by this movement as would an infant when first learning these things are possible. Draw the arms overhead and stretch from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the toes. Visualize, if you will, 360,000 channels of energy flowing freely through the body, having been released by the nature of your practice today. Vigorously rub the palms of the hands together and the soles of the feet. When you're ready, roll the body onto the right or left side, supporting the head, please. Let us take a moment here, quiet appreciation for this vessel we call the human body and the service it provides for us. Then, using the strength in the hands and the wrists, bring yourselves up to your seat of honor, Sukhasana, the comfortable cross-legged seat of the yogi. The hands rest on the knees, palms up, or in a mudra of your choice. Crown of the head is lifted, the chin is tucked in, the eyes are closed. Let us then draw the hands together at heart center in prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. The yogi is the same toward all beings. Before the yogi, no one is hateful. Before the yogi, no one is more or less cherished. Seek out a space now deep within your heart. Fill that space with a sense of peace and serenity. Carry it with you throughout the rest of your day today and into all the days to follow. And be ever mindful, please, that learning to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Let us end now our time together for this day with one beautiful resonant round of Om. Inhale deeply to begin. Om. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this morning. Namaste. For those that are tuned in, we anxiously await that time when we can gather as a community once again and share our love and our compassion with each other. But until that time comes, if it is within your heart and your ability, be generous in your contribution to your studio, please, and to your yoga community, so that we may stay vibrant during the course of these challenging times. Have a wonderful day, and please, stay healthy. Namaste.